Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Deb C, and the place to be, it's Deb C. Bloop, bloop, that's me. Boop, Deb C. Hey guys, happy Monday. I hope everybody is having a great day. If not a great day, then at least a good day. Welcome to the first week of October. So last night, it was a Sunday night. So, you know what I was doing? I was watching Real Housewives of New York City, and I thought that I would break down the episode, give a little bit of a rant, a little bit of my opinion, because that's my opinion. So I'm going to go over it. Listen, this episode did absolutely nothing to make me like or appreciate or fangirl over Aaron, Karen, or Sai. I just can't. I have come to the conclusion at the end of this video that they're both just mean girls. But let's start off. We started off with Jessel and Pavitt. They went to lunch, and they basically, we found out from this conversation that Pavitt actually set up a New York City staycation. They're going to go to dinner. They're going to stay at a hotel. He got a nanny to watch the kids, and it's going to be great. Jessel was saying she is still a little upset with Aaron, kind of always saying that she's privileged or thinking that she's privileged. Jessel also said that she's going to invite Sai to lunch to try and squash the beef surrounding this whole controversy, or this whole fight that came up in Anguilla, where Jessel was telling her story, the story about her childhood and her family, and then Sai just started screaming about how, stop comparing your upbringing to my upbringing. So she wants to try and squash the beef on that. Next, we had Jenna and Brynn going to a gay bar. They went to the bar, I believe it was called, it wasn't Henriette Harris. Anyways, it was the bar that when Jenna had come out, this was the first bar that she had gone to. Brynn was playing wing woman for Jenna. Jenna had just gotten out of a relationship, and she was a little shy. She had never gone out and picked anybody up before. So Brynn had decided to meet up with her and play wing woman. Now, I really like the fact that they included this scene in the series. And I like, just because it shows a representation of women, of all women in New York. And that's why I like that they had chosen Jenna Lyons for this show. I'm pretty sure they probably, one of the reasons why they picked Jenna Lyons is because she was so well known beforehand. But I like this. I like that this is included now in Real Housewives of New York, because they're showing representation of all types of New York City women. So I like that. Next up was a double date. This was between Aaron and Abe. This was Aaron and Abe and Sai and David. They had gone to dinner. No, I just don't like them. The main topic it started off being Jessel's sex life. I don't understand why it has to be conversation. I mean, I get it that it is on a TV show, but at some point, okay, it's enough. So Karen had asked Abe, what would you do if you did not have sex for a year and a half? And Abe was real quick out the gate with the fact that he would F another woman. He would just step out and he would F another woman. And Aaron had said something like, well, that was pretty quick out of the gate, or, well, what if, and then she said, but what if the woman was having issues? Right, exactly. What if the woman was having issues? Jessel had just spent years of trying to get pregnant through IVF, and then had 2 children, had twins. So, I mean, that's a situation. I'm just saying. We then found out that in 10 years, Aaron and Abe, they're going to be swingers. Okay. They're going to be swingers. Abe said that he would be okay with a threesome if there was another woman. And Aaron was like, no, I'm not going to do that. But Aaron is okay. I don't get this. Aaron had said no to, okay, I get no to the woman. However, she said she would just get a gay guy to come in. She said if she was in a sexless marriage, she would get a gay man or a unicorn or whatever. Are you unaware of how it works with gay men? I mean, maybe go out and get like a guy who's bisexual, but just saying. Things that make you go, I'm just saying. Next up was Bryn. Bryn was at a rare book shop. I thought it was really cool to see this. We find out that Bryn is an avid reader. She loves books. She's an avid reader, and she collects rare books because it reminds her of the trips that she would take to the library with her grandma Mimi. And she had then talked to her brother had called her, and they were talking about planting a tree for her grandmother. She plans on planting a tree for her grandma Mimi in Central Park just to memorialize her. Now listen, I have to say, I feel like as the weeks go on, we're getting to see more of Bryn. And I'm loving like the dichotomy in the 2 Bryns. Like there's the Bryn who's out there who's flirty and really outgoing and just flirting with anybody. But then there's the really intelligent side of Bryn who is reading and who is learning to play chess. And I'm loving it. Like I'm feeling more and more every week when they bring more in about Bryn. I'm really loving seeing this about Bryn. This week, Uba was having a healing session where she was getting all the ladies in to work out anything that happened in Anguilla, to get rid of any like bad feelings or bad energy or whatever that was left over from Anguilla. The only person that was not there was Bryn. Bryn had tested positive for COVID. They are going through they were each asked what they want to get from this session. They all said exactly what they want to accomplish through the session. And everybody was going along with it pretty well. The only people that didn't seem to be getting much of anything from it was Aaron and Sai. Surprise there. Sai had said that I don't need healing because I don't have anything wrong with me. So you're perfect then. Okay, great. So your childhood that had all of this trauma, that you have all this trauma from, you're not carrying anything from that. You couldn't maybe benefit from some therapy, or I'm just saying, you're perfect. Nothing is wrong with you, nothing. Okay. There's nobody in this world who's absolutely perfect, who has not one single issue that they couldn't use worked out. I mean, even people, they're like, there is nothing wrong with me. I guarantee you, nobody's perfect. I'm saying nobody is perfect. So Sai, you're not perfect, no matter what you say. She's never gonna see this. Jessel then also tells the ladies about the staycation. So next, Jessel and Pavitt are getting ready for their night out, and Jessel brings up a good point. Now, Jessel had said that married couples, they go through ruts like this where maybe they're not being as intimate as they typically would. It's something that happens to a lot of married couples. And I don't know. I don't know. Okay, we're gonna go over that. We're gonna go over that later. Jessel then shows Pavitt all of the things, all of the fun that she's going to be bringing with her on their staycation. She models these crotchless lingerie, this crotchless lingerie thing that Bryn told her to get. I'm gonna tell you, if I looked like Jessel, sure, I would probably run around in that. No, I mean, but I would put underwear underneath, not in public. And there was the scene where she had gotten up on Pavitt and was kind of like grinding on him a little bit. And he looked awkward. But here's the thing. I'm thinking that he looked awkward because of the fact that there's all of these cameras in your bedroom and they're all filming you in this intimate, I don't want to say intimate, but there's all of these people there with cameras. Your wife is in this lingerie thing. It might have just been that he wasn't comfortable. That's all. I mean, everybody else is saying, oh, it's because he's not into her or he's having an affair. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the reasoning is as to why it was a little awkward, but it could very well be the fact that he might not be as comfortable yet with cameras. That's all. Okay, listen. Okay, listen, Linda. Last thing was this nightmare of a lunch. So Jessel asks Cy, bless you, Jessel asks Cy to go to lunch. Lunch was scheduled for 11 o'clock, okay? Cy comes in at 11:20. She orders food because we all know Jessel can't go for Cy can't go for 5 minutes without eating. So she orders some food and then Jessel shows up at 11:41. Now, I'm going to say this. Jessel for certain should have emailed her, texted her and said, listen, I'm going to be late. It's not right that she was that late and she didn't send a text message to her. However, my question to you, or let me put this forward to you, this theory. Cy showed up at 11:20. So, I mean, she was late. I'm thinking that she was going to be just late, show up late, and then just be real quick about it and leave. But here's the thing. Cy was late at 11:20. Did she text Jessel that she was going to be late? She knew she was going to be late. Did she text her? I'm just saying. And right from the jump, as soon as Jessel walks in, she was off to the races. Like, she didn't want any part of this. She was over it from Jump Street, and she had that attitude. And we know she was over it because she didn't even want to be there. We find out next week she said she would go to be nice. She was nothing but nice. Nothing. She was, when I say nothing but, she was anything but nice to Jessel. So Jessel sits down and talk immediately gets to the staycation. How did it go? Did you guys have sex? And she said, oh yes. She says, we did. I am no longer born again virgin. Cy off camera is like, she's lying. I don't believe her. And the reason why she doesn't believe her because Jessel didn't go through and give all these details about their sex life, about what happened. Listen, sister, there are people who just don't want to go through and tell everybody about their sex life. I wouldn't want to tell nobody about mine. if I was having one, I wouldn't tell anybody. This isn't, Sai thinks that this is Sex in the City, and people talk like it's Sex in the City. People don't do that, okay? Jessel didn't want to put everything out there. Plus, honestly, you have kids. Would you want to go out on TV and talk all about your sex life and your business? If I was your daughter, I wouldn't want you to. No, I think that's garbage. I think that's bullshit. So after the staycation talk, Sai then brought up Pavitt going to Vietnam. And Jessel had said, well, he just does this every so often to rack up miles, you know, frequent flyer miles. She didn't buy that. She didn't buy that either. Listen, I'm going to tell you, Jessel is never going to do anything right. And Jessel is never going to be believed by Sai. She's just not. For some reason, Sai has it in for Jessel. Jessel then says that she invited her there because she wasn't comparing her childhood to Sai's, and she wants to apologize if it came off that way. Sai doesn't care. Sai wants no part of it and doesn't care. Listen, I don't think Jessel was comparing the two at all. I think that after hearing Sai and Brynn talk about their childhood, the ladies asked, what about yours? And she had told the story of her family. And then they just jump on her and talk about how she's lying and she's making stuff up. But then Sai comes out and says she wants her to be real, she wants her to be open, and she wants the straightforward story. So listen, Sai and Brynn and everybody else, they tell the story of their childhood, and they're able to go into detail, but Jessel's not. I think that's garbage. I mean, and then Jessel basically comes out and says, listen, you two are mean girls to me. You jump on everything I say. It doesn't make me want to share anything. Why am I going to want to share anything with you at all? Jessel then goes into the story of her uncle. Now, she had said that hearing you talk about your mother and her alcoholism, it kind of triggered me a little bit, and it made me think about my uncle. Turns out her uncle, who she had lived with, I guess it's the uncle she had lived with, was an alcoholic, and he had passed away too. And she was very affected by the story, and she started crying. And Sai, on the surface, was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. It's okay. I'm sorry. Off camera, she was like, once again, you're comparing it's apples to oranges. And I can't even, you have to bring this up. I don't know why you have to bring this up now. This is bullshit and blah, blah, this and that. Listen, she wasn't comparing. Once again, she felt like it was a safe space for her to share this story of her uncle. She wasn't comparing apples to oranges. It was apples to apples. They both were alcoholics. They both had passed away. The only thing that was different is that the amount of time that Sai spent with her mother versus the amount of time that Jessel spent with her uncle. Listen, I just don't. I can't. And to me, it seemed like if I were to hear that, I would think, if I were Sai and I were to hear that, I would think that maybe, okay, Jessel has some empathy and she can understand where I'm coming from. But that's not it at all. I almost feel like with Sai, it has to be that she's one-upping someone. This did absolutely nothing. This did absolutely nothing to make me like Sai. It is apparent now that Aaron and Sai are just mean girls. And I cannot believe I'm going to say this, but It's a third week, and Jessel is kind of actually growing on me. I mean, I feel bad for her. I feel bad for the fact that she's trying to fit in and she's trying to share her story, and these two just keep coming after her, keep coming after her childhood and her marriage, and I just don't like it. I'm like I said, I mean, if I'm talking on ranking them, at the very bottom is Erin. Next to her is Sai. Jessel is middle of the road for me now. I'm kind of liking Jessel. I don't know. We'll see, but this week, I believe we probably we might not have that much more left to the season. They did film the reunion. I think in another video I'm going to go through, I'm going to talk about the fashions for the reunion. So we'll see. If you guys watched, let me know what you thought. And with that being said, if nobody told you yet today, I love you. You're loved, seen, and heard. Please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, and positivity out there. And take care of one another. Please stay safe wherever you're at. And I love you. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.